Hey Nick, congratulations on the win. I guess the secret to get Chris away from Embiid is to move him out and let him shoot threes all night. What do you think of the fourth quarter there?
Yeah, well, that was a huge momentum run, pretty much provided by Chris, right? It was, really timely. We needed it to kind of keep it going or get back in it or whatever was going on. I thought we playing pretty well, Doug, but we weren't quite. Well, we just needed a little juice there, and we got it from that little burst of offense. And as things usually go, our defense got a little pep in their step because of that, and started really guarding too.
Yeah, I think he gave up 19 points in that fourth quarter. That's really effective against a very high scoring offense.
Yeah, we've had some good fourth quarters lately defensively, and man, if you're going to play good D, that's a good time to do it, right? It's really, the time to, we talk about a little bit about that's the most important time to get up and guard, and it's got to be your maximum effort and leave it on the floor in that fourth, and we've been doing a pretty good job of that.
Great. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Doug.
We'll go to Michael Grange next.
Hey, Nick, you talk about the need to guard two places. Like, you got to dig at the post and still get out. You held Embiid to 6 of 20, and obviously their overall field goal percentage was pretty poor. Is that as kind of textbook as you guys can do it, just being two places at once at times?
Yeah, yeah, probably, Michael. I think there was, that's pretty well done. I think as far as executing the schemes, I thought defensively we were there executing what we wanted to, right? We forgot the offensive game plan to start the game a little bit, but we went over that again in the first time out, and that obviously got better. But yeah, it's pretty good. We missed a few rotates. We made a few mistakes here and there, but it wasn't for not trying to be in the right spots. There's a few communication breakdowns here and there, but for the most part, we were as active as we could be, both in and out.
What were your talking points in that first time out after they got off to that quick start?
Yeah, it's just, Michael, probably how we like to play. We always talk about next action basketball or multiple actions, and I think 4 of the first 6 possessions, whoever had it across half court went and put their head down and tried to make a move, and that's not, that's at the way other end of the spectrum of what we're, what we needed, what you need to do against this team. They're long and they're strong. You aren't probably just taking them one, you got to move them and you got to shrink them and expand them and move them again, and that kind of stuff before you can rip one through and go to the lane. It's noticeable difference. We started getting some, we got to get some slot cut dunks and some back, a bunch of layups and stuff when we're doing it out of the offense rather than doing it one-on-one.
Appreciate it, Nick. Thank you.
We'll go to Eric Corrine.
Hey, Nick. My video doesn't seem to be working. I hope you'll survive.
Usually grounds for not taking the question, Eric, but I'm in a really good mood, so I'll let you go.
First of all, just what did you think about the job that I know it was a multi-person effort, but what about the job that Aaron did on Joel in the fourth quarter, particularly?
Yeah, we, as you saw there, we kind of had to have him right in there. The times we didn't, it wasn't pretty. It was tough. That's where he did most of his damage, and we just didn't really have any answer. And there almost wasn't time to do anything because he was just coming down and planting under the basket and catching it and getting fouled and laying it in there a couple possessions in a row. So we didn't really have much choice. So, an unbelievable job. And I thought he battled him hard, and I thought he put his body on him just enough. He got called for some, but that's okay. He got his money's worth on a few of them, I think, and that's important too, to let him know we're going to be physical, and Aaron can do that. He was very, very good tonight.
Also, at the beginning of the year, you guys were uncharacteristically sort of struggling in transition offensively. And I haven't looked at the numbers yet, but it certainly feels like you're turning that around. You see any reason for that, or was it just something that was bound to flip?
Yeah. I think that we didn't have very good structure coming off with the ball up the floor. if that makes any sense. And now we seem to be out. The guys in front stay in front. They're running the right routes and running, with spacing, and when they got a chance to break them off for a layup, they are. When they don't, they're sprinting hard to the corner and giving the ball handler more space. I think there's usually somebody in the middle floor that's running too, which can get you if the like Freddie or something busts a gap and then they close it and they kind of get that trail layup as well. But just better structure, I think, and better pace. I think we're making a conscious effort to get it and go a little bit more. And when you get it and go, if the guys in front will stay in front, and you got a chance to, get some early buckets.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
See you tomorrow, Eric, hopefully.
We'll see.
We'll go to Josh Lewenberg.
Hey, Nick. There was that stretch that Fred had in the first quarter, the 13 points in like 3 minutes, that wild three at the end of the shot clock. Obviously, they got off to a good start. It seemed like sort of a precarious stretch where offense was hard to come by. How important was that kind of jolt of offense from Fred to get you guys into it?
Yeah, I mean, I think those Freds and Chris's were really similar, right? They were kind of bang, bang, bang. Both, I think, 3 threes, I think. And both of them, I think we started behind, at the start of both those barrages. So obviously it was a big jolt to us to get us back in the game and, get us seemingly like we belonged on the floor there tonight, and then obviously Chris's was super impactful, because I'm not sure once we took the lead, we gave it up.
He also had a couple of those plays today, ripped the ball away from Embiid a couple times, and obviously he did that to Giannis a few games ago. It seems like almost like a nightly thing where he's making plays like that. We've talked about his defense and his hands and all that, but I mean, how impressive is it to see a guy like that at his size be able to put himself in that situation time and time again against?
Yeah, well, he's got a couple things that he's got incredible hands. Right, he's got really quick hands, and he's got really quick feet. He doesn't maybe look like he's the greatest athlete, and he doesn't maybe go north and south with great speed, but he does move side to side. Again, quick hands, and he's got great anticipation. So his feet and his hands and his IQ help him get in the position. I thought he looked like an all-star tonight, Josh.
Okay, well, hopefully a few coaches agree with that. Thanks, Nick. Have a good night.
We'll go to William Liu.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Great game. So you went to this you started with the small ball lineup, but then you went to this really big group at the end of the third quarter and to start the fourth quarter. I think there's some parallels there, I think, with the 2019 playoff series you guys had against them when you brought out that big lineup. Is that something that you considered when you went to that group?
It's one of those things, William, where we'll consider just about anything, right? And I think, what happens is Aaron starts playing well against Embiid, so he's staying. Pascal's playing well. OG was kind of still on his minutes thing. It was time for him to come back, and you certainly weren't taking Chris off the floor. So it was just, he was in a moment of it was Chris's turn to come out, but we were going to see if he could ride this thing even a little further. So that's how that happened. I'm not so sure it was very good, but that's how it happened and got us to the finish line, I guess, kind of. I thought we maxed it out and then decided to go back with a little more traditional thing. And then we even brought Norm back, who was having a tough night, but he made a couple big free throws there.
Well, it certainly worked really well. What did you think of your transition defense? It felt like early in the game, the Sixers were really hurting you, but towards the fourth quarter, that kind of dried up a little bit.
Yeah, it was good, and I think you're right. I think Simmons punched through there and did a good job. I thought we actually did a good job of staying in front of Simmons, kind of one-on-one, and man, he just cleaned our clock and threw us away and laid it in a bunch of times. I thought he's really physical on his drive, so I think our guys were doing a good job of standing in there on him, and he just kept making a little bit tougher plays. But then you're right, and it was pretty good that our big lineup could get back like that, But they were working hard and communicating good.
All right, congrats on the win. Thanks.
Thanks, William.
Thanks, William. We've got time for one more. We'll wrap up with Eric Wilson from the Sports Arena.
Coach, it seemed in the first quarter this team was trying to get you guys into foul trouble, and then the second quarter you guys turned it around and tried to get them into foul trouble. So just, what was going on that you guys really had to play that chess match to where you came out with the outcome that you did tonight?
Well, I think that they're big, Eric, and they're physical, and then their big guys are really skilled. So it's a challenge to take all that on without fouling. It really is, and they were super aggressive, and they were kind of the aggressor, obviously, to start the game. And, so that's how that happened. I'm not so sure. I think the only time we really get in a mindset to, put the pressure on them to commit fouls, we got in the early bonus. We just keep reminding our guys no quick shots or no, we at least got to explore going hard to the basket once or twice before we shoot. Because if, they might let you slip through for a layup, or they're going to send you to the line, that kind of thing. And the rest of the chess match was just trying to, figure out our best matchups at both ends, and it worked out for us is all I can say.